Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Forgiven Soldier podcast. Like I was saying, this is the first time that I have been live at this table in 2 years. So big shout out to NBR Radio for allowing me to get back to that, and I guess to see everybody's face. I can't see it, but I can see your comments, and that's pretty cool. That's one of the features that I missed during the whole thing. So if you are watching this, you are catching this live. So make sure you comment, and we'll put it on and answer any questions you have. But so just to let you know, I do have a man behind the curtain. They call him H. To me, it's not finished, but we'll work on that name. But you might see his face pop in and out. But you might also hear his voice. So just so you know, nothing's wrong with your phone. Everything is, or your computer, everything is good to go. But this week I have a special guest that I have gotten to know him. Now I'd say probably about a month, 2 months. But he is a musician. He's a songwriter. He's a lead singer of a band called Yellowbanks. If you have not heard of Yellowbanks, please go check them out. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. But without further ado, let's welcome in Mr. James Elliott. He's coming. Just wait. Maybe.
Interview of the week sponsored by LTD Tactical.
All right. You digging that, huh? Welcome to the show, James. How you doing, man? Hold on, you're muted. All right, let's try it again.
And I just say, I think Mike's been muted.
Yeah.
I'm all right. About you?
I'm good, man. Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for lending me your Saturday afternoon. Apologies to your wife and whoever you had to cancel plans to be on the show, but we appreciate you being here.
I'm here by myself, other than the doggo, so I'm good to go anytime.
I got my dog's right here laying by me. He always lays by me when I'm doing something. So, Cash, you good?
It's cushy.
Yeah. So, James, let's talk a little bit about your while you're freezing up. I'm gonna give you a little intro about your musical career. Like when it started, what got you into it? What was some of your influences?
Well, it was really kind of a fluke. It was 2020 and all that stuff was on. I went through a breakup, and so I was kind of not doing a whole lot. I'd seen a buddy of mine posting those on Facebook of him songs. Like, man, I would like to get, like, I know all these songs. I couldn't play guitar anymore at the time. It had been 10 years since I'd played, so I was like, I'm just going to sing on some of these videos. And started really liking it, and then I started picking the guitar and playing, and it progressed. But it never was supposed to be what it is now. It just kind of happened.
Kind of cutting in and out there, but you were saying that you started watching videos and started singing along with them and everything. What you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get some better reception here somewhere. But a buddy of mine had started playing, and like, well, I'm just gonna sing with him on some of his videos, and it wasn't really supposed to be anything other than that. And then people started, and got.
Brian, you want to go on break, see if we can clear this up?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little bumper right here, a little video, and we're gonna try to get James's audio back.
Go ahead, Brian, and play.
Trying to get somewhere
you want to.
All right.
Trying to get some better reception. I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
This guitar, it gets the job done. Finding the peace in all the crazy. Will it save me? Now I am strong enough. I strapped on that guitar and got the job done. Finally found the peace in all the crazy. This guitar saves me. Now I'm strong enough.
All right, we have pushed James back to his car, so hopefully he gets some good service
But
out there. Anyways,
if
you're
I'm
listening,
outside,
buddy.
I
You're
might have
playing
to.
music.
Yeah, and it just kind of fell into place. People had started like really kind of paying attention to what we were doing and really liking it. And like, well, man, if people like this, why don't we take this, further? And he actually named the band back then 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now, and then it just kind of progressed and grew. We got booked on this little festival called the Open Arms Music and Arts Festival, and we went out there and people were like, I thought Tyler Childers was here. And we were dubbed there for a while the best Tyler Childers cover band there was. And I mean, we really need to start writing our own music so people don't think we're just a cover band.
Yeah. So that's when Yellowbanks started. It was in about 2020, you said?
Yeah.
Probably 2021, somewhere around there. So how many members of the band did you have when you first started? Just you and your buddy?
It was just the two of us at first. Dylan Morris.
Dylan Morris.
Shout out to Dylan.
Is he the electric guitar?
He was. Yeah, he was playing. I'm sorry.
No. I met one of the guys at an event that that we're at Doc's Garage. I wouldn't even call it an event, a little hangout.
Okay.
I don't know who
that was Scott. He is the current guitar.
Gotcha. Yeah. Scott. He was a cat.
Hey, Brian, what might be better for him is if he just called in on the phone line, the text line, since his internet's kind of giving him some trouble.
Okay, that'll work. You see that number there, James? You can call.
I need to type it in somewhere or write it down. About to use the back of a lottery ticket.
Hopefully it's not a winner.
It is.
Yeah, but we'll get you on the phone because it keeps on cutting in and out. But yeah, I can keep them. I keep them entertained for a little bit. Thank everybody for watching. Again, first time live. You're gonna have some technical difficulties here. We're gonna work through it and get it. But we'll get back with James and talking about how Yellowbanks got started, and maybe he can play some or something. But you need to go check them out for sure. Yellowbanks. They have an album that came out, and every song on it is amazing. So make sure you check it out. But while we're waiting, I want to say to H, thank you to MBR Radio for allowing me to be on their show. I know it's been a couple weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks since I have done a show. I do want to shout out 90.3 WKWC, the radio station I was on, Panther Radio at Kentucky Wesleyan. A big fan of theirs, and again, it's been a little rough patch, I guess, or just a patch of life. So we're gonna get back there. Is that the phone right there, H?
All right, you're on the Forgiven Soldier. Who are we speaking with?
James, man, I'm finally here.
There we
Can you hear me
go.
now?
All right, there we go. All right, so we'll get back to it. So that's how Yellowbanks started, and and you mentioned Tyler Childers. What was some the other influences of you? Like, I mean, with your guitar playing and your singing, you got a very unique voice. Um, where did that come from? I guess.
Well, like I said, I started really playing because I was super into Tyler Childers at the time, Sturgill Simpson, Coulter Wall, some of the new guys that I consider like real, folk Americana country music, not the stuff that's got the 808 bass and, the pop
Yeah,
beats. Like, that's personally just not me. But then, once I started listening to that, I went back and my parents are older, so I was listening to Hank Williams growing up, Hank Jr. and Merle and Willie and Waylon, and Waylon Jennings to me is the greatest that there was out of all the outlaw country musicians. And so I just really started trying to focus on writing and playing like those guys. That stuff is so timeless and classic. People love it today and are even, going back to that now. So I'm like, man, this is where it's at. And that's kind of where everything went to from there.
yeah. I was always a big fan, and same. My dad. I mean, they're not. I guess you really depend. It depends on what age is to you. You know what I'm saying? But my dad's in his 60s, late 60s. But he, man, I grew up listening to Garth Brooks and Air Supply and Chicago and all those styles of music, and you see it like you kind of like I gravitate toward those kind of songs, like the ballad songs
Yeah.
and almost like singer songwriters, because you actually hear the words and you um, every song is a story kind of thing. You know what I mean? So what kind of got you into like songwriting, or when was the time where you like maybe wrote something and said, I might be onto something here?
Geez. I
Or
mean,
have you
really,
got there yet?
even when I started, do what?
I said, or have you got there yet?
Well, I don't know. It's weird because, I guess the only reason that I really started writing songs is because it was out of necessity of
Yeah.
writing. Like, I want to do my own music and not just others. And my first song that I wrote, well, probably the first couple were not very good at all. But then I ended up, me and a buddy of mine, Mark, were riding down the bypass going to meet somebody for lunch. And we had just made this joke about cocaine in my coffee. I was like, man, that's got a ring to it. I was like, get the notepad out. And I started just telling him what to write down. And next thing you know, I've got the first song that we recorded. And it ended up like that song is still requested today from anywhere that we go. If people have heard of us, they want to hear that song.
Yeah, it's an awesome song. And I know you played out last night at the Lure, and you've been on the road. So how do you find your like gigs? Like, how do you find like your shows that you go to? Do people reach out to you? Do you have to, do it yourself? What's the process on that?
It's a good mix.
Yeah.
A lot of times we do get people reaching out to us. Then we'll see places looking for bands like, hey, check us out. And then of course on social media we're trying to put up videos and pictures and like, hey, come out, support your local music, and we're just trying to be interesting.
Just be interesting.
It's a real big. Do what?
I said you just want to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying.
And when you play out for people, and I mean I play at church, so it's a whole different vibe to it. It's not really performing when you play there, but when you're playing out at like the bars and the concerts and the festivals and stuff, actually I was watching a video of Josh Merritt. Shout out to Josh right here. A video that he had with his dad, and his dad was like, "You got to make make sure your audience feels what you're trying to say, right? And we talked a little bit about the songwriting, um, about some of the techniques you do when you songwrite is kind of you try to say a lot with saying less. Um, so kind of speak on that a little bit about like your approach to songwriting and and what your thought process is when you go through it.
9 times out of 10, when I'm writing something, it's because something is like catchy to me. So I'll say
Mhm.
something. Did you ever watch Walk Hard, the Ballad of Dewey
Oh
Cox?
yeah.
Okay, you know those times where he walk hard. Like, don't you dare write a song right now, Dewey. It's like that's a lot of what I get my songwriting from. Is I'll think of something that somebody has said or that I've said, and when it comes out in a certain quip, I'm like, man, that's really sharp, and that could be something. And then it just forms around wordplay. So nobody necessarily wants to come out straight into a song and say, this happened, this is what I'm doing about it. So it's like making a story out of the situations, and then like you said, putting that wordplay together so you can
Mhm.
say a lot without saying directly what you're saying, and then leaving
For
that up
sure.
for interpretation.
Yeah, and that's amazing, man. I love songs that have that. I know Brad Paisley is really good at it, and Blake Shelton. Um, he has some songs that kind of play along with that as well. Um, so I asked this question to all the musicians I talked to: if you could have a number one song sung by somebody else, or if you could sell out the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, what would you choose?
If I could have one of my songs sang by somebody or play the Bridgestone Arena,
Sell out the Bridgestone Arena, or have somebody sing your song to go number one?
I would.
It's tough.
There's not too many people out there, honestly, today that I would like hearing some of my songs. Most of the songs that I write, I feel like I want, Merle Haggard, that Merle Haggard would do great on this song.
Yeah.
So then there's only a few that I would really, really like to hear singing my songs, as their own, in that sense of like I was the writer, but they put it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But as far as it goes, man, I think I would much rather sell out the arena, just
Really?
because like it is such an intense feeling of like being in front of people and watching their reaction, and it's
Yeah, and it's about 50-50 of the what the people choose. There's some that want to sell out Bridgestone, and there's some like, you know what? Let me get one of the songs that I've written, um, and have somebody sing it and take it to number one kind of thing. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'd rather hear one of my songs instead of play one of my songs.
I said, I just, my hope, and I don't necessarily have to be selling out any arenas ever, but I
Yeah.
just want to be able to be right up front under the lights and watching those people,
Hmm.
enjoy it and really get into it. The live is where it's at, man. It's,
Yeah.
it's feeling like none other.
And we talked a little bit about this about some people especially country artists, some of their dreams is to play the Grand Ole Opry, and you had a little different spin on that, about not really being a dream, but you had mentioned something that you would want to play another place, and I thought it was amazing. So can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. The Grand Ole Opry, I mean, it like I've known people to play it, and I've seen, all of the greats play it, and you have to be invited to play that stage, like
Yeah.
you can't just say I'm going to play the Grand Ole Opry and boom, and a lot of those places are like you have to be invited to play there. But to me, again, going back to some of the artists that people are calling country now, I just personally don't agree with it. Like, I respect what you're doing. I even
Mhm.
like what you're doing, but I don't call it country, and I don't think it belongs at the Grand Ole Opry. And
Yeah.
so that's one of my things is like, if I was to be invited to play there, like, yes, I'm not saying that I wouldn't play there, but I would much rather be sitting in front of the pews in the Ryman. You know, that's the two big like dream venues that I have in my mind. Like the biggest in my mind are the Ryman and Red Rocks, and I would love to be able to play those stages and fill it
That
out and just see people enjoying it. You know.
man, the Red Rocks looks so amazing. So amazing. Like I
Yeah.
saw Jelly Roll play their video, and then Tyler Childress played there as well. And it's just a cool scene for me, you know?
When I saw the video of Zach Bryan playing with damn near a blizzard coming down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody was out there in the cold and the snow and singing along. I was like, that's it. You know, like
Yeah.
I got to do that.
So is that the pinnacle? Is that when you're like, okay, I made it, kind of thing? What's that moment look like?
Do what?
I said, what's that moment of like, hey, okay, I made it? What does that look like?
That would definitely be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, it's like there's different levels to making it. Like if I was just able to say, okay, we can make a run around the country. Like I want to get to actually touring and traveling, you know, whatever that may be. If it's dive bars, that's fine.
Yeah.
If it's, you know, listening rooms, that's even better. But just to be able to travel and do it is like the ultimate goal, being like, you know, if I'm playing, you know, 3-4 days out of the week and a different city every day that I'm playing, or every other day, like that to me would be like, you know, I made it. I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm comfortable doing it.
My camera went off. Yeah, no, that's what hold on, let me and that's what I
I
was
love
kind of
lives.
but I mean my camera just fell, like it just died. That's all right.
That's okay.
James, you can't see it, but I just flipped upside down with everybody.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, it helps that you got a pretty face. If he was ugly, there would be nobody viewing.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Well, that's probably a good thing I'm not on camera anymore. Then they'll be running for the hills.
My dad always said I had a face for radio, so there it is. I don't know where to set
Yeah,
this
I've heard
up.
that. That's why I grew a beard.
Yeah, see, I can't even grow a beard. Yeah, flowers in the way and everything. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, the Red Rocks, man. I thought it was so cool watching it, and some of the artists I like coming up. Obviously, Chris Stapleton is amazing, and I think he just has that soul. What's some you mentioned Zach Bryan and Tyler. What are some of like the like mainstream, if you even like mainstream country, like is there any mainstream country artists out there that you kind of get down with?
I mean, I like some of Luke Combs stuff.
Yeah.
I do like some of Luke Combs stuff a lot. You know, I can't like Jelly Roll too. I can't hate on what he's doing. We've known about Jelly Roll for a long time, and I respect, you know, the heck out of what he's doing and coming out and being the way he is. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's different.
Tyler Childers and Zach Bryan are the closest to mainstream
Yeah.
now that I really mess with.
And I think, you know, once you're in it and once you're in that, you know, that profession, it's kind of hard to, I mean, you can like them for sure, and follow them and all that stuff, but you're kind of, you know, you kind of got your head down a little bit and driving forward with stuff that you're trying to put out there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I want to talk about the enlisted songs from a veteran music therapy program that we're doing from Veterans Empowered Together. So for those who don't know it, we bring a veteran in. They share their story. My phone's about to fall again. They share their story, and then us songwriters, like we get songwriters together, we write a song about their life, about their.
I was curious saying that. It's camouflage, bro.
I know. Is that gonna fall? Okay, we good. So we write a story about that. So we partner with the Bluegrass Music Academy here in Owensboro with Randy Lanham, and then we try to get some local artists in to songwrite with us to write a song for this veteran. So we actually invited James and Yellowbanks to do a writing session with us, and James was very cool and said, "Yeah, let me, I want to do it," and so if we will, let's talk about that experience. What's your thoughts of it? What do you think? Yeah, let's just talk about what your thoughts are on it.
Well, I think it's really cool. I like the whole idea of because my granddad, for example, he fought in World War II, but I never got to talk to him and know him. And my uncle fought in Vietnam. He was 173rd Airborne, and there's a couple of songs out about that now. And so to be able to talk with somebody and get that kind of view on it, and be able to put something out there, because it's something that by the time I really started playing music, I'd never really got to do with anybody that I knew personally in my family.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything that I'd thought of before that point. So that was an experience that, really touched me. I actually, like the 8th of November, that was a song that I made sure to learn,
Yeah.
Big Rich, because when my
Big
uncle
and
passed
Rich.
away, I was like, this is that was for him, because he was 173rd Airborne. That whole song is written about that, and so it just, it was a really cool experience to get with y'all and write with y'all, and I'm real proud that y'all actually asked us to take part in it, and I'm pretty proud of what we're doing and what you're doing, with the whole program. It's awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. And the thing that gets me is literally every song that we have wrote so far, the veterans or their family, they all come back and say, "Man, this is a cool experience ever." Like never, some say I've never heard my story this way, and just to put a little different perspective on it, and give them something they can take with them and share with their family. And it almost opens up another avenue of kind of telling your story without getting too emotional or having the PTSD sink in and not be able to say the right stuff, and this just gives it a unique spin on that, and I think Jeff Hilt he was on my show about 3 weeks. He was my last guest, I think. But he was my old battery commander, and to have him step up and share his story. What's your thoughts on old Jeff there, Jeff Hilt?
I like Jeff a lot, man. I was nervous about the whole process, you know what I mean? Because I and you even told me, it's like, well, everybody comes in blind. This is, part of it. We come in, we listen, and then we put it down. So to come in and be nervous already, and then talk to this guy and be like, I've got to represent him in the light that, in a good light, and really make his story, really, really resonate. That's a lot of pressure. I don't care what anybody says. That's a lot of pressure. And so, and then he got on the phone and you got to talking with him and we started asking questions. And I mean, he opened up and he was funny. Like that's somebody I could definitely get along with, and be like, it was a whole different experience talking to him, man, because some of the things that he said it just cracked me up.
Yeah.
And
he's an amazing guy, man. They don't make too many like him. So I'm excited for the song. I'm excited for everybody to hear him. Hi. But James, I appreciate you being on the show, man. I really do appreciate you taking time out. I want to thank everybody tuning in to the Forgiven Soldier podcast. And H, I appreciate you. My first live back. So, Any last words from you, James?
Thank you for having me on, for one. I appreciate you letting me come on and talk with you and share a little bit of my experience with you. And I hope everybody enjoys what we put out, and hope Jeff, mainly him and his family enjoy it.
That's the main one.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're killing it.
James, do you have an upcoming event that you wanna push out, that some people can meet you or whatever?
Well, there's actually a couple really good ones. We're playing tonight in Brandenburg at the shop, but that's a little short notice. But next weekend, I believe it is May 24th, is a good buddy of mine's birthday party. He's a hell of a guy, and he helped me out. So we're putting on the biggest production we've ever personally done out at Rough River Lake. And we're gonna have boats in the bay, parties going on, Memorial Day weekend, so we're gonna set it off right for his birthday and Memorial Day. And then July 5th, we're gonna be in Louisville. They're doing a concert series there. It's called the Hot Country Nights, and we somehow managed to get a spot on that. Tracy Lawrence plays the week after we do, so I still don't know how we got that.
That's awesome.
And then what is the other one? June 22nd. That's another big one. That is the Litchfield. That is in Litchfield for the East Main Market Concert Series. We're getting to headline that again this year. So those are probably, as of right now, our three biggest shows coming up. We'll have a really good crowd, good setup, good event going on. And those would be the ones to catch.
All right. Well, y'all here, check out Yellowbanks on Facebook, Instagram, wherever social media they got it. Check out the videos. Check out the music on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you can get, download music. They're on there. James, I appreciate you. H, I appreciate you. MBR, I appreciate you. And WKWC, I appreciate you.
And today is MBR's birthday, Brian. I don't know if you realize that or not.
I did not.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday to you. And to
19 years old.
That's amazing.
Dang.
That's amazing. And
we yet.
But I appreciate everybody tuning in. I really do. It can only get better from here, right, H?
Yep.
That's it.
Tough times don't last, tough people do.
That's it. I already played a video because James' video was going in and out, but we'll end it on Strong Enough. This was another song from the Enlisted Songs from a Veteran music therapy program. So everyone, God bless.
Will I be strong enough as I strap on this guitar? It gets the job done. Finding the peace in all the crazy. Will it save me? Now I am strong enough. I strapped on that guitar and got the job done. Finally found the peace in all the crazy. This guitar saves me. Now I'm strong.